Okay.
What's going on? Welcome to Lunch Table. This is the crew. I'm Dilly. Got Tice, D-Maj, Bush, Josiah, Trev.
Yo. Lunch
just
table, what?
just a bunch of lifelong friends. Kind of pursuing the podcast dream of ours. We've all had it for quite some time now. Just dive right into it with the mock draft. Tice, who do you have going first?
All right, shit. Let's get right into it. Shocking everybody. Kyle Hamilton is going number one.
Wow. What?
Yep.
Wow.
Hot take. The first right off the bat. Yeah.
Bro, Kyle Hamilton can change a whole entire defense. Like one player, he can change that defense.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm with you on that. I kept it.
I just don't know. I don't like it. I understand personally, like Kyle Hamilton is the best player in this draft class. Personally, but with this positional value taken into play, and just like when you look at halfbacks, basically on offense, it's basically a very similar scenario on defense with safeties. So I get it. I do. I'm not mad about that pick. I can't see it.
Kyle Hamilton, though, that's a safety on paper. On the football field, that's a Swiss Army knife. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, but we said the same thing about Isaiah Simmons too.
Okay. He was he was kind of a bit of a bust. He's not like Zaven Collins though. You guys, I remember asking you guys about Zaven Collins when we drafted him. Y'all hyped him up so much. I was so hyped.
Hey, you gotta give him time though.
Yeah, exactly. We gave Isaiah Simmons time, and he wasn't too bad.
He's not too bad. I mean, he still has room to improve. So
I kept it simple for my first pick. I'm pretty sure more than or almost every mock draft you'll see, I got Evan Neal going first overall.
Okay.
I can't argue against it.
Big man from Bama.
Yep.
I can argue with that. At some point, you got to start protecting Trevor Lawrence, which is your first round draft pick last year, and you got to do that at some point.
Right.
Don't want to do to Trevor Lawrence what the Bengals are doing.
I mean, one of the main reasons you had back-to-back years with the first overall pick. So
yeah,
got to do something.
I also have Evan Neal as my one, protecting Trevor Lawrence in the backfield. So
I may be the one weird guy here, but I think that if you got the number one for a reason, you got to get a stud blue chip player when you can get him. And I got them taking Aiden Hutchinson and not really thinking about it too much.
That's fair.
Much.
Yeah. I dig.
I don't know. I don't think I can see any team but the Lions putting Hutchinson over Thibodeau.
That's the funny thing. Yeah.
That would be really interesting because I feel like 31 teams are looking at Thibodeau as like edge number one, but then I feel like the Lions are
the hometown hero.
I mean, this is all pre-combine, and the thing is, I have a very strong feeling that Aiden Hutchinson is going to test way better than and way closer to Thibodeau than what people may think. So with that, you're going to get a high motor player like Hutchinson, and some people don't think that Kayvon Thibodeau's got the drive to sustain himself within the NFL. And I don't know if I'm up there at 1, 2, or 3, I think I'm just going to take the guy that loves to play football.
Bro,
fair.
Makes sense.
Sure.
Strong Midwest ethos.
I'll take it. All right,
Sure.
D-Maj, let's just get it over with.
I mean, it was really between two players, and it wasn't Aiden Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeau. It was between the two tackles, Ekem and Evan. And I've been really like contemplating which one I'd rather go one, but I'm just gonna go with the safe pick that everybody thinks it's gonna be Evan Neal. Personally, I like Ekem a lot better as a prospect, floor wise.
Right. Yeah.
I just love the aggressiveness as a run blocker. And the only thing I got to knock on him is his aggressiveness in the pass protection game. It allows a lot of counter moves back inside.
Yep.
But when I'm looking at it, I think Evan Neal, honestly, because even if he doesn't prevail at tackle, I think it'd be like an Andrews Pete type situation where you move him back into guard, kills it there. Or Eric Flowers too. Eric Flowers moved to guard for the Washington Commanders, and He's been killing it there. So honestly, I think Evan Neal's a safe pick.
Yep.
I like it. I'm hype. We're on the same page here, Dimaj.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I'm liking this so far.
Trev?
Yeah, I got Evan Neal going 1.
Yeah, that's
okay.
fair.
Pretty much
Pick
all
from
on the
last
same
year's
page
first
here.
round pick. He's
Right.
worthless without protection.
Yeah.
Right.
Evan Neal, he's got a really high ceiling, but like DiMaggio said about the run blocking, I would not be surprised if his rookie year he suffers from a lot of penalties.
Yeah. I mean, his
You know?
balance issues, and as every time he goes to run block, you see the swiftness as a 6'7", 350-pound kid, but at the same time, his balance on those moves when he's trying to reach a end, it shows all the time that he trips, he stumbles, and he starts to grab. And at this point, like, he's gotten better, obviously, this season. It's just, I love Ekem. I'm just a big Ekem fan. I know he's undersized as well at 6'4". His arms are, I wonder how he's going to test out with his wingspan. That'll help a lot, but I don't know.
Right.
It's a fun time.
Yeah. Shit. So we all good with our first pick. I will go ahead and this is where the comparison between Tyson and I got starting interesting, because I originally told Bushy in a previous call that him and I had that I had a sleeper pick going top 3, and it was actually Kyle Hamilton at 2 to the Lions.
That's fair.
So, but other than that, it's pretty different between us, and I'm sure you guys have different picks as well. I also, that's it. You know, Lions. Lions have.
I had the Lions going with the in-state kid, Aiden Hutchinson. But the interesting thing about the Lions is I feel like the Texans are in the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much any one of these top 5, 10 guys they add, going to like transform the side of the ball they play on, you know?
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's pretty much just a pick your dominance there. I mean, do you want it in the secondary or on the D-line?
I just love the story. Like the hometown kid comes back to play for the Detroit Lions. And I feel like when he does test, you brought up that point, like Sai did, when he tests, I feel like he's going to test very similar to TJ Watt. And if he even plays to close of that production, they're getting what they want exactly out of Aiden Hutchinson. So I think, I agree with that one. That's who I picked for number 2. I think it's a great story. I love it.
Yep. I also took Aiden at 2. I just think it's honestly like the best bang for your buck, in my opinion. And like you guys were talking about, I think the Lions are the only team seeing Hutchinson over Thibodeau. And I see that I don't think they're going away from him for pick 2. I just think that they got to take him there. And that's just the way it has to go.
For sure.
I'm on the same page with Aiden Hutchinson. I think he's like the most perfect fit you could dream for, as if you're Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. On the hot seat. Yeah.
MCDC is looking for a kid who's going to get in the facility as early as him every morning.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Lunch pill type guy.
Yeah.
If you love football, Dan Campbell loves you.
You know, Hutch has bitten off a couple of kneecaps in his day.
Oh yeah.
So what about you? What you got?
Over here, I was thinking that, you can't, if you're the Lions, now that Hutchinson is off the board, in my case, you got 2 tackles in Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell, who you just drafted. So it means all these tackles that are at the top of the draft board anyways are out of your question. So I think you just go best player available, and that's going to be Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah,
he's easily going to change the secondary around, and hopefully the Lions can get Jeff Okudah back healthy. He wasn't healthy at all in his rookie year. So maybe with the addition of Kyle Hamilton, that defense can kind of start changing up and maybe doing a little better than what we think they can.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree.
Not to mention they have that third offensive lineman, Jonah Jackson, that went to the Pro Bowl last year. So
Yep.
Shaping up
and
pretty
Frank
well.
Ragnow. I think Frank Ragnow's the best center in the league.
Oh yeah.
That's a hot take. I don't know.
Yeah, Bush.
He's up there. I'll tell you that.
But what Tice was saying about the Texans and Lions being pretty similar with their draft pick, I have them taking Aiden Hutchinson. I agree with you guys now that I hear you about, his story with the Lions and, all that stuff. But I mean, the Texans obviously need him just as much as the Lions do. They're gonna have a new coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're with the rookie. They're stuck with the rookie quarterback for now.
I
Honestly,
mean, who knows? Who knows? Who knows if
Yeah.
that's even for certain? If the Texans are going to roll with the second-year quarterback,
right?
I think, you bring up a great point. I think Aiden Hutchinson at 3 makes a lot of sense. I think defensively, they just hired Lovie Smith to be head coach, former Bears head coach. So dealt with him a long while. But I think it just makes perfect sense that they draft a very athletic and potential filled edge in Kayvon Thibodeau. It fits perfectly. It reminds me of when Mario Williams played with them.
I like that.
I think he just match up perfect. I love that pick. Honestly, that's where I haven't changed that one the whole time I've drafted. I've changed the 1 and the 2 plenty of times, but 3's been 3 at 2. Probably I've stayed about the same as well. But Kayvon, I love going there.
Yeah,
I'm with you there.
I think I'd have to agree with you there. You need some juice to get to the quarterback. If you don't got it, then you're practically not going to be winning football games. And it's just clear case in point. All the best teams in the league have a number 1 edge rusher, and Kayvon Thibodeau can be that guy.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yep. All right, who's got that other third pick?
Ties, what you got?
I'm also on Thibodeau, and earlier in the draft, in the mock draft season, I was like, I could really see Stingley going to the Texans, but as their pick kind of rose up and his stock kind of went down, it's just too early for that. But
that's fair.
Yeah, you got to go Thibodeau. I mean, an edge is arguably the most impactful position on the defense, and to get a top end blue chip guy like that, you're setting yourself up for success in the early stages of this full blown rebuild.
Oh yeah, definitely.
See, that's where I was, Chase. I was thinking like all day today. I was thinking, would it be Stingley? Would it be like Thibodeau? And then the last second, I was just like, you know what? I think the Texans need an edge. So I think Kayvon Thibodeau is going to the Texans as well. Pick 3. I just think that it's also too early for Stingley, but I do have him still going pretty high. I just don't think it's 3.
That's fair.
Right. No. Oh yeah.
I also got Thibodeau 3. That Texans defense needs help everywhere. I think
straight up.
I think D-line is a perfect place to start.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we're already 11 minutes in, so I'm gonna try to speed mine up. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys 2 picks here.
Okay.
And they're both obviously the Jets. I got them. Their first pick, obviously, Kayvon Thibodeau. Quentin Williams, Leonard Williams. Young guys. They need someone in the edge as well to help them out. Their second pick, at number 10, I actually have Pittsburgh trading up to the 10th pick with the Jets to take Malik Willis.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. So I guess there's my hot take, but obviously, obviously Kenny Pickett is gonna be the first quarterback off the board, but he ain't falling at 10. I have him going to Carolina. Sam Darnold just ain't it anymore. I don't think. I just think Kenny Pickett will be a better fit. Long time quarterback Cam Newton. That offense is built pretty much around him. They need a running quarterback, someone with speed. Kenny Pickett's their guy for me.
Fair enough.
All right, so here's where we really start to differ, because at four we got the Jets, and I got the Jets taking Evan Neal, because in my mock he's fallen out of the top 3. A lot of people saying he's the number 1 overall pick. I feel like in this situation, with the Jets likely taking O-line anyways, even though they kind of got that left side figured out, I think they're going to take Evan Neal and move either him or Becton to right. Because if I'm not mistaken, Becton played right in college, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah. So I got the Jets taking Evan Neal. And then I'll just go my next 2, since they're also both tackles. I got the Giants taking Cross at 5, because I like the truer right. going to the Giants, because I think that with what's his name, with Andrew Thomas's like kind of shaky start, didn't have the greatest rookie year, started to come on last year. I don't think they want to move him over to right. I think they want to keep him at left because left is where he's starting to establish himself at. And so I got them taking the true right tackle in Charles Cross at 5. And then the Panthers coming in and taking Ekem at 6.
Okay. Still rolling with Sam Darnold, huh?
3 tackles in a row.
3 tackles in a row.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the Panthers is, they probably should take a quarterback because Sam Darnold is not the answer. But I feel like Matt Rule is on the hot seat. And I don't think that a rookie quarterback in a make it or break it year for him is going to give him a good shot.
Yep.
I agree. Okay. I agree with that.
Yeah, no.
Makes sense.
Here, I'll go picks 4, 5, and I'll go to the Falcons pick just to see if Saya likes this one from me. So 4, I have Ekem. I think that's the next best pick for offensive lineman. I think that's a huge hole that they can fill with there. I wanted him to like I was with DiMaggio. I was debating on if Evan and him were like they're 1A, 1B. You know what I mean? There's just things that people like bigger or better than that about the other one. And then for the Giants, for the 5th pick, I actually put Stingley here. I know it's a lot earlier than a lot of people do, but I just think like an athlete like that, why not take a chance? You know?
Yeah, no.
Why not take a chance? And then for the Falcons, Saya, this you can tell me if you like this one or not, because of the fact that you just basically lost your number 1 receiver, not knowing if he's going to come back. You know, you need somebody that can go up there, grab the rock, beat people 1-on-1 if you need it. I got Drake London out of USC going to the Falcons.
That is a interesting take because I'll be honest here. I also in my mock I also have the Falcons taking Drake London.
Yes,
we need another receiver with not knowing how Calvin Ridley is going to return or not. Who knows on what that situation is. And if you were to add Drake London, who's a 6'6", go up and get it type of receiver next to a 6'6" speedster tight end, it just creates so many mismatches. It's where can you place a corner on a big old Drake London or a safety on big old Drake London, and he just moves too well at being in his frame as he is that you just have to take him out. I don't think he's the wide receiver number 1 necessarily, but the fit works better than what his draft projection should be. Just real quick, let me throw in my 4th and 5th picks here to the Jets. I got Derek Stingley. They need secondary to help really bad. Their secondary is one of the worst in the league. So I think you get a day 1 plug and play corner who can hopefully be a lockdown corner for years to come. And then at 5, I got the Giants taking Ekem, taking him off the board, and they can put him at the right tackle just depending on Andrew Thomas's situation. But I like him because he's going to fit more holes for the team just in case of bad situations. Let's say someone gets injured, he could kick in and make a great guard for a couple of games. Or
played guard in college.
Yeah, exactly. So he's just got great versatility, and I think that's what the Giants need among extra linemen is versatility.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, I have the same 4 and 5 as you said.
Yeah, I feel that. I had the exact same 4 and 5. And it's funny that you guys said Drake London at 8 for the Falcons, because I had them picking a receiver, but it wasn't him. It was actually my number 1 receiver in the draft, Treylon Burks.
Okay.
I love Treylon Burks.
Yep. I like Treylon too.
Makes sense.
All over Treylon Burks ever since. I mean, since his first year, his athletic talent and just overall how he presents himself on the field, it's amazing. I mean, there was a stat that came out recently. He ran a 22.76 miles per hour and a 91 yard receiving touchdown. And that was the highest of any player in the NFL in the past 2 years. And with a kid that's 6'3", 230 pounds and has better hands and route running than DK Metcalf at this point. He's what I think DK Metcalf was supposed to be. No diss to DK. I think I still love DK, but I think Treylon Burks comes in more prepared to whatever team he comes into. I think Treylon Burks and Kyle Pitts are a duo together. I love it.
I think like it.
Yo, I agree with what you're saying about Treylon Burks, but I don't think he's the next DK. I think he's the next Debo.
Exactly.
Put him in an offense where he's getting carries and targets, and I think this kid can be special.
Think about it like this. He's the best combination of Debo and DK. You put them together and you get I mean, that's honestly what you get. You get an over.
Just look at pictures of that dude. His freaking thighs are so big. He's just
he's an absolute monster. Like I love that. I love the kid. I think he's gonna be great. And then y'all brought up Kenny Pickett being the first quarterback off the board. And funny enough, I have the Broncos drafting a quarterback, but it's not Kenny Pickett. I definitely have Desmond Ridder going first. The first quarterback.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Ridder.
Wow.
I feel like a lot
I
of
don't
people
even have him in the first round.
No, that's the funny thing. A lot of people might hate me for that. But the reason why is because when you look at his like overall field of work, especially the past 2 years, the improvements he's made of just basically the past 2 years from this previous year to the previous year, his accuracy issues have decreased significantly. The only times I ever see him really missing targets is early in game when he has jitters. He knows how to run an offense. He knows how to win games. And I feel like that's the most important part is winning games. You do not have to be the greatest quarterback prospect in the world as long as you know how to win games. Kenny Pickett stresses me out a little bit. I'm not going to lie. And I don't know what it is. I think he's a great prospect. I think on a lot of boards, he's number one. But I think in the NFL, when it translates to what I'm looking for, I think similar players to Desmond Ridder have gone to the Broncos and haven't worked out, but I feel like this would be the one that actually does. It's weird.
What's up? So, speaking of the Broncos, though, I mean, I saw obviously the Broncos are going all in for A-Rod. If he were to become a free agent, you know, obviously Broncos, but Broncos also have Russell Wilson being their second choice if Aaron Rodgers doesn't work out. So that's interesting to say that. So they have some time to figure it out. But
they definitely do.
Which so I guess that'll wrap up our mock draft. Let's go ahead and talk about this whole Kyler and Aaron Rodgers situation. So I just wanted to make the Kyler thing quick, just to hear what you guys were thinking when this all started. Like, who do you think was in the wrong? Do you think the Cardinals were in the wrong? Do you think Kyler was in the wrong? Obviously, Eric Burkhart, Kyler's agent, came out today publicly saying that him and Kyler discussed and proposed a new contract deal to the Cardinals, you know, being perfectly clear that Kyler wants to be there. Kyler, you know, he wants to lead the franchise to Super Bowls, pretty much retire there. I did read a little details, and it was saying that Kyler would take less money off of this next upcoming season salary cap so that the Cardinals can re-sign, you know, deserved teammates like Chandler Jones, Christian Kirk. You know, all those guys are going to be free agents, Chase Edmonds, as well as new free agents. But I thought that was pretty cool. It made me happy. I would like to see Kyler, you know, become more of a leader. He's kind of a pout, you know, when nothing goes wrong his ways. You know what I'm saying? If you look at his body language, sometimes he's just not all the time there. But what were you guys like thinking when like this all started? Were you scared for your boy, or like?
I think he's a baby, bro. Honestly, like that whole situation, how it was handled, I never have agreed with players acting the way they do when discussing contracts. If you don't want to be with the team, that's fine. Play out your years, work hard for that team. If they don't want to sign you to the contract you want, leave. If you're going to act like a child, and the way he went about it, it seems so kid-like, and like as if he was like his favorite toy got taken away. So he's just going to go sit in the corner and cry. Yep. I hate it, but I get it. A lot of quarterbacks have done that and it's worked out for them. But it just makes me feel like he's not a true leader in that scenario. And honestly, I thought he was just going to go straight back to the MLB. when all this went down.
That's what I was thinking.
I
mean,
bad
he wouldn't be
timing
getting paid.
bad
Yeah, he
timing to
wouldn't be
pull that
getting
card.
paid.
Yeah, with the lockout, yeah.
Timing would have been hilarious.
Yeah, I
Making
think he definitely took it as like a prima donna, bro. Like he definitely handled it the wrong way. I mean, deleting everything about the Cardinals on his socials, like everything like that. It's just there's no need for all that, man.
Yeah.
And just like not getting your way, like it sucks. But you deal with it. You're a grown ass man, you know.
Right.
You might be 5'9", but you're still a grown ass man. And just like if you're not getting your money, like, oh well, dude. If you want to play for the same team, play for the same team. Do it under certain circumstances, and then like if you have a problem with it, you have a problem with it. Just deal with it. You know what I mean?
What was that whole thing? I thought he was all salty that the Cardinals organization was kind of putting the blame on him when they lost.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that he was when it first originally came out, he was embarrassed by the playoff loss, which obviously you should be. You know, everyone should be feeling the same way. But he was also he felt like he was being framed as a scapegoat, which doesn't really make sense to me. I don't really think it could all be on him. Obviously, you know, the Rams, it was 28-0 heading into the second half. You know, there's obviously some defensive issues there. Not to mention Cliff Kingsbury, when D-Hop went out, could not make any adjustments. You know, Cardinals won one game.
Yeah, I think
since D-Hop went down.
That's really the biggest problem with the Cardinals organization is that they haven't found their coach. They've been finding their quarterbacks for the year or for 2 years, but they haven't settled on a coach to run a system. It's about getting the coach to run a system with the player already in it. And you know, they're kind of doing it backwards, essentially. And I think that I also think that Kyler, he kind of deserves that contract. I mean, led them to the playoffs, 2 years now? And you know, you couldn't really ask any more of him because there are other great young quarterbacks just outperforming him. And I would say that's probably due to the physical limitations that he has being so small. But other than that, I would say he's been, you know, a top 10, top 15 quarterback in the league since he's entered.
Right. I mean, and another thing kind of going along with that is if you look at the stats from September to November, you know, Kyler's MVP candidate, you know, top 3 quarterback in the league, putting up great numbers for his size and what he's doing. And, you know, his record is pretty damn good in those months. But when the Cardinals hit December, heading into the playoffs, it seems like him and the team just fall off the cliff, you know?
Yep.
I think it's funny when people look at that and understand that it went downhill in that way because the problems were there. I mean, they were there since the beginning of the season. They had no ability to stop the run. It was awful. Right. They had plenty of turnovers that weren't turnovers, just turnover-worthy plays that were all over the place. And like, I look at the team, I think it's a phenomenal team. They have a lot of weapons. The O-line's still hurt. Like it's old. It's an old offensive line. They needed young there. To protect Kyler. I think that's another thing that's probably frustrating to him. He feels like maybe there's another Russell Wilson situation going on where he has all the weapons. He has the defense put in place, but the O-line so bad.
They just haven't invested the capital into the offensive line. And you know, that's where it starts.
Yeah. I mean, if once Rodney Hudson comes back, I think a lot will help with that situation. But at the same time, you can't rely on one player to fix your whole line. Exactly. You have to go out and get the whole 5. Like,
right.
I don't know.
I mean, DJ Humphries is young. You know, he's a multi-Pro Bowler. Just thing with him is he gives up way too many penalties. You know, he probably gives like 3 or 4 penalties a game. You know, holding false starts. You can't be doing that. You know, that's another thing that killed us. I think the Cardinals were like the second most penalty team in the league, which is obviously unacceptable. But
I just have one question, right? Where does this sense of entitlement come from with Kyler Murray? I mean, let's strip this down. Let's strip this down and look at it, right? Kyler Murray does not have an MVP. He does not have a playoff win. He has one playoff berth where he got embarrassed. And what has he made? 1-2 Pro Bowls? I mean, seriously, go out and work hard and prove that you actually deserve some big time fucking money, because Kyler Murray has got to be one of the most talented football players in the NFL. If you look at pound for pound, the things he's able to do and the plays he's able to make at his size, he's one of the most talented football players in the NFL. But the old saying goes, when or hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, right? And all the stories that come out just prove that Kyler Murray isn't that kind of first in, last out, hardworking guy. And I don't know. I don't see any base for him going and crying and pouting about not getting a new deal when he really hasn't done anything noteworthy. I mean, if a quarterback got a max contract every time he made a Pro Bowl, then Mitch Trubisky would have gotten paid after 2018, DiMaggio, right? I mean, I don't know. Kyler Murray is not on that level of Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers type quarterback who really like should be calling the shots like that and taking a stand against the organization like this yet. He can become that guy if he fucking puts his nose down and works hard, you know?
Right. Well, speaking about quarterbacks, I guess the time has come. The moment we've all have been waiting for. All right, Tice. So I don't know if you guys must have seen it. Obviously, all the international games came out today, and the teams participating, and Packers having to be one of the teams going to London. Packers posted on their social media, Photoshop pic of Abbey Road. Matt LaFleur leading the pack with a few of the Packers players. And of course, the one speculation that went across the whole sports world is that number 12 is not in that picture. A lot of stuff going on. There's this, people saying, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur, Packers owner, they've all had great conversations, heading into the free agency. We're all good." Then there's the other half that's saying, what they did to him last year was dirty. He's gone. San Fran, Denver, all these organizations are being in the midst of signing A-Rod. So Tice, what do you think is going on with that?
Before Tice gets into it real quick, don't forget that Devontae Adams is also not on the graphic.
Right.
All right. So I'll address the
with
graphic
that too.
first.
Are they gonna? You think they're gonna tag Devontae as like a bait situation, or are they gonna let him go?
So we'll talk about that graphic real quick. That's a classic cover your bases kind of move there. The Packers, they fully expect Rodgers to be back. They fully expect Adams to be back. But on the off chance that they're not, you do not want to be the guys who posted that graph. You know what I'm saying? That's just a classic cover your bases move. We're going to play it safe. We're going to put the other fucking 8 million Pro Bowlers we have on this roster in the graphic. It'll be great.
Relax.
So that's that,
Right.
Rodgers in general. We'll talk about that. I don't think Rodgers is leaving. Obviously, last offseason happened. There was the Cold War between Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. And I don't know. I think time heals all. And I think that this season, great regular season success, another MVP, I think Rodgers likes all of his teammates. I think he likes Matt LaFleur. And I don't think the relationship between the front office and himself is perfect, but I think that it's improving. And I think that that's proven by the strides that the front office took this year to include Aaron Rodgers and consider his opinion more than they have in the past. And so I don't know. I don't see him leaving, especially because I don't know. I don't really have any good reason to say that I don't think he's leaving. But I don't think he's leaving.
No.
Even if he said, yes, I want to be traded, the teams who he wants to go to are going to have to offer trades, and then the Packers can deny those trades. They can drag it out. They can demand a Godfather offer in return. I mean, a lot of stuff would have to happen for him to be traded this offseason. So I don't think he will be traded this offseason. Now, he may not re-up on a new contract. He may play out the final year of his deal this season and be a free agent next year. That totally likely, but I do not think the Packers are actually going to trade him.
I think he's out. I think he's gone. Personally, I think it's a little biased being a Bears fan. I absolutely hate the Packers. And
Chicago.
Aaron Rodgers leaving, it would make me so much happier. But when you look at all the bases and look at how it's going, I think honestly, to me, the most likely situation that happens is that Aaron Rodgers retires. And Devontae, he either gets tagged or he goes to the Raiders to go back with Derek Carr, just like the Fresno State days, and it matches up perfectly. I think the narrative is there completely. If Aaron Rodgers was to get traded away, I think the Broncos is the most likely situation. I mean, it's been what it's been the whole past 2 years at this point. Everybody says that he's going to the Broncos. That's where he wants to go, live in Mile High City. I think it matches up perfectly, but I think Rodgers is done. I think he's so tired of winning these accolades and doing so well not to get the one thing every player in NFL history wants, and it's a Super Bowl. He only has one. He's been to the championship game. I don't know how many times it's been. Six. It's six now, 6, 7. It's getting tiresome. I'd be pissed if my organization could not figure out a way to help me win. This last one, he did not play his best game, but the only way the Niners won the game is because of special teams. Every single point was on special teams. And you still found a way to lose. I'd be pissed. Even if I didn't have the greatest game, it's no excuse that the rest of the team can't produce as well.
I will say special teams had their blunders in that game, but in a home playoff game in Lambeau in the snow, if you only give up 13 points, you better fucking win. And if you don't, it's on the offense.
Yep.
I get that. I completely understand that.
Special teams had its moments of absolute shame and misery throughout the whole season, and especially in that game. But the Packers defense, something that at least the fan base has always said that like Aaron Rodgers deserves a better defense. That defense gave up 6 points in Lambeau in a home playoff game. I mean, that's all Aaron Rodgers has ever wanted. If you can't overcome special teams blunders, it's not on the organization. And I think he knows that. And I don't think he would leave the Packers on that note either. If he went out and dropped an absolute masterpiece and lost like 38-35 after throwing 405 touchdowns, I would understand him being like, all right,
but look at the Buccaneers.
They can't help me out, so I'm done. But
look at the Buccaneers game. It wasn't an amazing game on his part, but he put up the points and he should have won the game. I mean, where's the Packers defense at that point? And it always brings me back to Tom Brady. And I'm not even going to get into that because I know every time I talk about Tom Brady, people want to get mad at me. When you have a great defense, you go places. When your defense plays poorly, you do not go places. It's just that simple. I don't care how good your team is. Drew Brees showed that year in, year out. He had an awful defense for about 5 years and couldn't do anything, even though he led the league in passing yards, passing touchdowns, and passing completion percentage. It's just when you get to the point of your career where you're getting to the end of your ropes. I mean, you just won an MVP, yes, but you're getting to
back-to-back MVP.
You've played 17 seasons.
Back-to-back.
You don't know if you want to just relax and chill out. I mean, at this point, I think he's done. I think he's just tired of the bullshit.
Yeah, but it seems like Aaron Rodgers does enough chilling out in his free time that he's not on the field anyways. That he still
the punch of karma.
But he still wants to chase another ring because why not? I mean, those things are only awarded to one team in the entire league every single league year. And I think that having one doesn't satisfy him enough, though.
I think his best chance is staying in Green Bay, though. What's he going to do? Go to Denver and expect to win one in the next 2-3 years?
I mean, they do with Peyton Manning.
That's true.
Peyton Manning signed as a free agent, though. When was the last time a team really gave up, like, everything and the kitchen sink for a player and it worked? I mean, the Broncos had to give up Jerry Jeudy.
Exactly.
They would have to give up.
The Rams did the all-in buyout, get every best player possible, and it won them a championship this year.
And it worked.
So
it's
worth it.
I mean, but the thing with the Rams,
you look at the Rams roster without Matt Stafford and the Broncos roster, like not considering the quarterback, the Rams have a way better roster than the Broncos. I mean, the Broncos aren't just a quarterback away from being the best team in the league.
It's funny though, because
the Broncos, I would say are probably a quarterback away from winning their division, which would put them one step closer because now they get a seed in the playoffs.
Look at the Broncos roster and actually tell me like how much better the Packers roster is versus the Broncos. I understand the Pro Bowls. I understand that, but genuinely look at the player statistics, how well they played in that situation. All their players are young. Bradley Chubb, Patrick Surtain, Simmons, all the players on defense. And then you have a receiving core that if I understand Devontae Adams is better than every receiver on that list, but every receiver on that Broncos offense is better than every receiver after that.
And they're all extremely young. They're
all extremely young. The offensive line played way better than it did in previous years. The running game, Javonte Williams is a dog, an absolute dog. Yep. If you put in Aaron Rodgers, I feel like it's a very similar situation to the Packers as it is if he was going to the Broncos. I feel like they're like the very similar teams.
And you also
and I feel like the AFC is an easier division to win.
Yep.
And you also got to remember that the Broncos have they got the 9th overall pick, and if they were to do that deal, that would be sent over. But they also are top 5 in cap space this year, so they can go realistically. They can go and sign. I don't know who's on the free agent market as of right now, but they can go and sign a top big name linebacker to come in, fill the hole on defense just for the run. You go get another veteran safety. Like, they got the money to make the pieces work. The big one is taking the first step to get Rodgers, because if they don't get Rodgers, they're not going to do all those moves to try and win now.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. DiMaggio, you said that the AFC is the easier division to win. I would beg to differ. I mean, let's just start with that division. All right. If Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay, he's competing with the Lions, the Vikings, and the Bears. All right, no disrespect, but those are three garbage teams.
I completely agree. I think
if he goes to the Broncos, though, he's facing off with Pat Mahomes and the fucking Death Star Chiefs. He's facing off against Justin Herbert and the up and coming Chargers and the Raiders, who no one really ever knows what the Raiders are going to be, but they're never they're usually not terrible as a.
The Raiders are always playing spoiler.
I think,
and so even if they win that division and they get to the playoffs, they're going to have to run into Pat Mahomes again. Possibly Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, possibly Josh Allen and the Bills, possibly Joe Burrow and the Bengals. What about the NFC? Brady's gone. All right. The Rams are probably only going to get worse than they were this year. Maybe not much worse, but when it comes down to it, it's Matt Stafford. All right. Jimmy G is gone. The Niners are going to be a big question mark. I mean, if you look at all the big, like, powerful teams in the NFC going forward, you could make the case that Rodgers has a better chance to win staying in the NFC.
I could definitely agree with that. I mean, but at the same time, I still look at how the last season played out, and I understand Tom Brady's gone, but I still think that Buccaneers team is full of talent. Kyle Trask, I don't know why I've always been high on him coming out of Florida. I think he'll come in, not the same production at all, but I still think they make the playoffs. I think they genuinely can still win that division with how it's looking. But when you look at the full scale, the Rams are still going to be the Rams. I understand they have a lot of players that are going in free agency. The Rams are still going to be the Rams. Sean McVay is a great coach. Matt Stafford's a great quarterback. That team
still got Aaron Donald, which is
still got Aaron Donald. That team's still going to be. And I understand
he's not retiring.
You can name
as good as the Rams were this year. The Rams this year were a drop pick away from going home.
No, I understand that, but you look at the top tier. You look at the top tier teams, and you got to think about like how the Niners were 10-17, and they went to the NFC Championship. And they stunned the Packers. That team's only going to get better. I still think Trey Lance is the best quarterback out of that draft. Even as a Bears fan with Justin Fields, Trey Lance is the best quarterback out of that draft class. And Trey
Lance is better than Jimmy G, but I don't think Trey Lance is coming out next year and winning more games than Jimmy G could win.
I think he will. I genuinely think he will, because you look at the secondary. The secondary for the Niners was the only place where I looked at it. I was like genuinely concerned about that team. The rest of it, they have Pro Bowlers and all pros all across the board. You slot in, you sign in Tyrann Mathieu, and in the draft, they don't have a draft pick until the second round. But it's a deep corner draft. Honestly, if you draft Darion Kendrick or Kobe Bryant in the second or third round, I think that slots in perfectly. I mean, number 2 quarterback, or if they develop well enough, easily a number 1. I think Darion Kendrick is a very slept-on cornerback as it is right now. I think that team's a great team. There's a lot of unknowns But if you look at the previous year and how top heavy the NFC was versus how spread out the AFC was, I think that's why I personally feel like the NFC is harder to win, because when you face those good teams, they're the best teams. I mean, Joe Burrow took the Bengals to the Super Bowl, and the Rams won their division. It was the underdog versus the one everybody knew was going to win. Right. It was like, that's how I feel. I think the AFC is way more open because all those teams are good and anybody can win at any point. The NFC, you have your top teams and you have to go through them if you want to win.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
Right.
It's an interesting thing. It's interesting.
Why don't we wrap this up with shooting out our as of now NBA MVPs. Right now, it's neck and neck for me between DeMar DeRozan, obviously, and Joel Embiid. You know, both averaging around 30 points a game. Both teams in the top 3 in the East. I will. Okay, listen, Tice, no need to rub it in, but I will. I will give the edge to Joel Embiid, considering obviously they just traded for James Harden, and James Harden right off the bat had a triple double yesterday. Already had 2 30-point games with them. So I do have Joel Embiid winning. Tice, yeah, I know. I'm sure if Giannis and the Bucks can get a hold of themselves here, I still think they're one of the most dangerous teams in the East, even though the record doesn't show it. Obviously, Chris Middleton should not have been an all-star. He's not playing like Chris Middleton this year. Drew Holiday is a straight shooter this season. You know, shooting over 50%. Mid-range beast.
Hopefully that carries over to the playoffs.
Hopefully for you. But yeah, I do got Joel Embiid as my favorite for now.
I agree. As of right now, it is Joel Embiid, but if I'm predicting who's going to win MVP, I got to go with Giannis, just because them stats every month of the season since it started, they have just been exponentially increasing. And the thing about Joel Embiid is, now that Harden is on that team, I would not be surprised if in this final stretch, the team does good, but with Harden being on the court, it draws away from Joel Embiid's pure number production just a little bit. And just enough for Giannis to overtake him.
I don't know about that, because this is the most open Joel Embiid's ever been in his career. The gravity that James Harden attracts, being on ball or off ball, regardless of where he's at on the court, you got to know where he is. And it just takes away from all the pressure that Joel had to face alone, being his second option was either Seth Curry or Tobias Harris, who aren't really second option guys, they're third option guys. And I also think that Joel Embiid is going to run away with this MVP race in the last 20 games of the season. DeMar is a close second. I think that if the Bulls could manage to get the 1 seed, then I can give it to DeMar. But until then,
gotta worry about them Heat. Gotta worry about them Heat, son.
Heater dogs. Heater. I think the Heat are coming out the East. Hot take.
I could agree. I feel like maybe if the Bulls had Lonzo healthy, you know, they could have a couple games ahead, maybe an edge. But without Lonzo and that assist machine, I don't know.
I will put this out there. If either Giannis, Embiid, or Jokic wins MVP, that'll be 4 straight big men taking home the MVP award.
That's exactly what I was about to bring up. I'm loving the whole big man winning the MVP as of recent.
It's a big man renaissance.
It's been so long since we've seen such big man dominance. Like I can't think of the last time this happened, but it was basically before I was like really even watching.
It was back when Shaq and Dwight Howard were running the league, Tim Duncan winning.
It's just,
and it's happening in the shooters league, you know.
I'm absolutely loving that whole narrative. I also think Joel Embiid is going to win it. I agree. I happen to agree with both sides, with Tice and Saya, because I don't know where it's going to go at this point. It could really hurt Embiid, or it could really be a boost to his production as a whole. I think personally, it's going to help a lot. I think Harden has succeeded when he's had a good big to play off of. I think Embiid's played well when Simmons has played well. Simmons, I'm glad he's gone. It's been needed, but I think Harden has a shooting ability and the way he can spread the floor better than Simmons can, and how Embiid was already playing well when Simmons was on the court for the previous few years. I think he explodes at this point. I think he really just takes it to the next level.
Bush, I know you're heavy on the Bulls, and I know you're I know you are hating what you're hearing, but I mean, elaborate.
I mean, I can't hate on it. Like I said, I'm with the big. I mean, I'm with the big man. Like, you know, like the era's gone and it's in the shooters era. You know, I like seeing a big man win MVPs. I like seeing him win awards. You know, but I gotta be biased. You know, I gotta be biased and throw my guy DeMar some love, man. I mean, he went on a streak. I think he's actually still in it till this game. We don't know how this game's gonna end. They're actually down to the Heat right now by like 19 points.
They sure
are.
But he's going on a streak that nobody's seen for a long time. I mean, he's shooting 50% from the field, averaging like 35 plus a game for like the last 11 games. Like, I mean, he's doing numbers that anybody on the Bulls since Michael Jordan hasn't done. I mean, an average stretch of 30 plus points a game. The most in a row is Michael Jordan having 11 and DeMar having 10. I mean, you haven't seen this in a long time. Just blowing up the scoreboard, you know what I mean? Like, it's just
right. I mean, not to mention he put the filth on those back-to-back game winners before the All-Star break.
Yeah, I was going crazy on both those. Trust me, I was going crazy.
Trev, who you got?
Yeah, I think Embiid teaming up with, or I should say, James Harden teaming up with Embiid is only gonna improve Embiid's numbers. I think if he can keep it up through the stretch of the season, better than Giannis, or if Giannis doesn't make a run, I think Embiid's going to win it no matter what.
All right.
He's definitely got the edge right now.
Let's just shoot it out there. Okay. This will be the last thing. Let's shoot it out there. Who's you guys' finals matchup? Suns Sixers.
Ooh.
I want to see the Suns Bucks rematch.
Bucks Warriors.
Let me say this. This is going to be real surprising. No one's really taking these contenders out of the West serious, but give me Heat Grizzly as my finals matchup.
Ja could do it. Ja's that dude.
Ja can do it. Oh yeah.
Ja's see, that's the thing. Like, I think Ja's a sleeper MVP pick, dude. That guy's going ballistic right now. He's going absolutely ballistic right now.
It's funny because every time he's on the floor, everybody wants to watch, and even with the team doing actually, like, they have a better plus or minus with him off the court, there's just something with him on the court that just changes the whole dynamic.
It's just the energy. It's just the energy that imagine it's practically like Ja is Tom Brady in a sense that he brings the juice of, all right, as long as we got this guy on the court, we know we can win.
And as long as he's hype, we're hype.
Exactly. And that's what the team's just following his lead. And the team is going to go as far as John Morant can take them, and I think he can take them to the finals.
I completely can see that. I mean, I got Grizzly ticks. I got to side with my boys. I got to side with my ticks. I don't think anybody realizes how well they've been playing in the
preseason. No. I'll give them some credit because probably like 20 games before the All-Star break, they were top 5 or top 10 in offensive rating and defensive rating. Mm-hmm. Plus, they just added Derek White from I can't say his name right, but your guys' head coach Ineku Udoka. He came from the Spurs in that Popovich system, and you get a Spurs point guard to come back. So I get it.
Huge signing.
Yeah,
I'm excited. The way they've been playing the previous few games, Jason Tatum has been playing the exact way he's been expected to play.
A true one, guys. A true one.
He's been playing like that guy. And everybody was talking about Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. Which one, like, can they coexist? These previous few games, and so far, ever since the All-Star break, they've been coexisting. They've been playing well. They have been blowing teams out of the water. Their defensive rating has been incredible. They are playing like they should. And I feel like at this point in time, I can genuinely trust them in the playoffs right now. So I like my ticks.
I get what you're saying.
Not to mention they do have like the one or two defense since December in the entire league. I mean,
It's a phenomenal team. Is it the greatest team? Does it have all the stars? No. But I think they're one team that when they make it into the playoffs, they can be a little sneaky. I think
as long as they hold it down. Not dating back to John Morant, just got a notification. Grizzly Star delivers another poster as the arena explodes. So we're gonna have to go and keep that.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, here's my bold prediction. I predict the Grizzlies of the 20s will be what the Bulls of the 10s should have been. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Led
There
by
it
a
is.
phenom, young, explosive guard.
No,
Hopefully these knees
can-
are a
I
little
can-
stronger.
I can definitely agree with that. I can definitely agree with that.
Man,
Shit.
D Rose
That was
will always have
Good.
This is a
Very
spot in my heart, man.
very entertaining first episode. I'd say
This
so.
was fun.
Um,
We'll have to save Zion for episode 2 because
Oh yeah.
We'll have to
I
save
got a
Zion for
solid
episode 2.
I got a solid 30 minutes of dirty laundry to air out with that dude.
Oh yeah, no, I got you. We'll
Waiting.
also dig more into the whole Jimmy G stuff, as well as
Word.
Carson Wentz, like I was talking about, and then we'll see what else happens. We'll throw in some more UFC next episode as well.
Oh yeah.
But
we don't really need to do a whole lot of UFC. We can kind of just sprinkle it in where the big fights are taking place. You know, maybe like a day or two before the fights. So like on a Wednesday or Thursday, we can shoot those. But other than that, nothing crazy really needs to be done with the UFC.
All I gotta say is Tai Tuivasa is about to be the world champion.
Relax.
That is my dog. That is my
Relax.
absolute favorite fighter right now. Him and Israel Adesanya, 2 favorites. Absolutely love them.
Here's the thing,
Can't wait for their next fight, bro.
Here's the thing, bro. One of those guys will be a championship fighter for a very long time, and one of them won't even sniff the belt for the next few years, buddy.
Yeah,
it's
that
not
heavyweight
effective.
division is
Which is which.
Tuivasa's a great fighter, but that heavyweight division is.
Yeah, because you got Ghani, you got Ngannou, who is the champ right now. You got Alistair Overeem is still fighting.
He's done.
You got John Jones supposedly wants to fight at heavyweight.
You got to worry about John.
I completely understand that, but he's ranking at 3 right now. He just took out Derek White in a fight where he looked like he was about to get his ass knocked out. Derek Lewis. Sorry, Derek White was still in the brain from the basketball. But Derek Lewis,
dog by the way.
Fight where I thought he was out.
Dog,
I thought he was done. First round looked like he was out, and he just took shot after shot after shot. I don't know. I love him. I think he's gonna be great. I don't know. I think that championship belt's coming soon.
Here's the thing about taking shots
underdog?
between. Here's the difference between taking shots from Derek Lewis and taking shots from Francis Ngannou. Derek Lewis has the smallest gas tank in all of the heavyweights in the entirety of the UFC.
You can say that, but he also has the most knockouts in the UFC.
Yes, he does. But Ngannou does not get tired, and he just hits harder than anything that anyone has ever felt before, dude.
No, you're right, and I can completely I understand that.
And
I think there's a shot though. I really
and if you really think that he's going to be able to swing with them, let's just say Ngannou goes back to what he just did to Cyril Gane, puts him on the ground for 5 minutes of straight domination out of a 5-round fight.
I think if it goes to the ground, I'm gonna be quite honest. I think Bam takes him. I think Bam.
No,
dude, I think Bam takes him on the
not
ground.
a chance. He's getting devoured.
I think Bam takes.
Ngannou, you gotta realize, dude. Ngannou he's the guy to beat. So like, there's no way he's letting Tuivasa take him down, especially in a fashion that would convince the judges to give him a round over Ngannou just depicting on a takedown alone.
I mean, I'm not gonna disagree. I mean, he's obviously the underdog. He's not supposed to win. Ngannou, there's plenty of fighters in that division that are better. I didn't think he was gonna beat Lewis though, and he did. Yeah. And at this point, I think I'm just rooting for him at this point in time. I think it's more of like a feeling, not like a no that he's gonna win. I feel like he has a shot. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of great fights coming up. Overall,
he's got a shot, but I just don't think it's realistic yet.
Yeah, I think he's looked good against people like Greg Hardy. He stood there and knocked Greg Hardy right out.
That was a good
But
fight. That was a good
Derek
fight.
Lewis, he got Derek Lewis, but Ngannou, that's a different breed. I don't think he's ready for that yet.
No.
We'll have to
not even
see.
close.
We'll have to see.
I
I mean, he's
say
the number 3
he-
ranked fighter in heavyweight right now.
I say he
So,
needs 2 or
he's
3
coming
more
up.
fights before he even thinks about that.
He's still got to swing with Cyril. He's still got to swing with what's his name?
John Jones. If he
John
ever
Jones.
gets back into the heavyweight,
He's got
the ring.
Bones.
He's got to swing with Stipe, who single-handedly had the belt for like what the last 10 years in that whole division.
I don't think Tuivasa could even beat Stipe right now.
So it's a rough road for
and Stipe fights at the heavyweight at like 235, but you could be 265.
I don't know. I agree with everything you guys are saying. I completely understand it. I'm rooting for the fucker. I think
Oh yeah,
the way he holds himself, and there's
Very
no
much
reason not to. I mean, every time he wins, he drinks beer from a boot. Like,
Right.
I mean, like,
Legend.
it's a legend status. I absolutely love him.
Well,
Like, I
Shuey.
don't know.
Yeah,
It's
we
just,
love him. We love him, but I just can't see it, dude. I just
I
can't see
don't
it.
know. I'm rooting for him. I see it. I think it can happen. Well, I mean, we'll have to see his next fight. It's still not scheduled. There's nothing like that come out yet. But
Well, for all our first episode viewers, not sure how many of you there are going to be. You've got a pretty damn good preview of our UFC debate and what's to come.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of UFC.
So
Yeah.
thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in episode 2.
Zarsky.